Monday night tonight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday night tonight on Monday night. All right, let's get into it. We have some really great things to talk about tonight. Today on April 1st, the April Fool's Day. I know I sent out a little tweet earlier today saying there wasn't going to be a show, but I gotcha. Anyhow, let me get our guest because he's actually here already. So let me just unmute him real quick. Hello, guest.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody listening in?
Of course. I'm Mike. Mike, do I do last names?
That's your call.
I'm Mike, or aka Count Chubby, as my handle goes by for some people. And I'm just a good friend of Colin, longtime friend, or fan and friend of the show. Yeah. Let's get into it, bro.
All right. Sorry, I'm just looking at my stream settings. And I'm letting people know that the show is live. We are live. Yeah, my description said something weird.
What did it say?
It said support the show, and then it had my Streamlabs link.
Nice.
Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do as well? Let me get. Oh, sorry. I want to get the boom. I'm gonna put the Discord link in the description.
Okay, sounds good, man.
So if anybody's listening in, you want to join in the Discord, or if you want to chat directly through YouTube, you are free to do so. I do read the chat. Something's stabbing me in my side.
I thought that was part of like your April Fool's joke to me, Colin.
No. Ow.
Oh shit.
Jiminy Christmas. Okay, we're good.
Alright.
Alright. So we will be talking about pranks.
Woo!
April Fool's Day pranks.
April Fool's Day pranks. As you know, I am the king of April Fool's Day pranks.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say, listen, I'll give you this. You might have done a prank or two, but I would not, go as far as to call you the king of April Fool's Day pranks. As we all know, the king of April Fool's Day pranks is clearly one Mr. Oh, I don't remember his name. The guy from Prank Invasion. That guy.
Oh, Alex. Or was it Alex?
I don't remember. What was his name?
Let me look him up. I want to look him up right now.
Yeah, look him up. I have to look something up as well.
It was Chris from Prank Invasion.
Chris, that was his name. Okay.
Prank Invasion, man. Whatever happened to that channel? So I'm not. What up, Invaders?
There he is.
It was 1 week ago. He made a video kissing my actual sister prank.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
He's still getting it. He's still living the dream. So many kissing pranks, jeez.
So, Mike, why don't you tell me? Give me. Sorry, I'm just looking at something. Do you have any good pranks that you've done in recent years?
I mean, I always do the classics on April Fool's Day, like "Mom got someone pregnant," or like, "Hey, splitting up with you." But you know what's funny? Actually, I'm being like totally serious right now, and it just sucks because of timing. I was thinking like, what would be really funny is if I pretended to be an Uber driver and to pick up like people and pretend like I was giving them a ride home, and be like, "Nah, just kidding." But then that thing just happened, which is so messed up. Now that I'm saying it out loud, but I generally thought that would have been a funny prank. Just be like you pick up someone like, "Oh, like you're taking me back home." You're like, "What?" But yeah, too soon, I guess in this case. Yeah.
That's a pretty good prank. Sorry, I'm just looking at. I'm getting ready. So we do segments on this show, and I'm preparing a segment because my
Because
dinner
I just took it to a really dark place. You might want to
You
just.
did great.
You
So
might want to go to a segment.
as you can see, I was half listening. You know, you don't have to meme. There's, I have a
I'm not
strict no
memeing.
meme. Oh, we have a message in from Jake. It says, "Hey, can you give me the wiki how link on how to tongue glass an uncooked chicken? I can't find it." You know what, Jake? I can get that to you later on today, but right now we're talking about pranks, okay? So unless you got some pranks to talk about, I don't want to hear it. Okay. I did a prank today, and you told me you did a prank today as well.
Well, my pranks are boring and bad and terrible.
So my prank was pretty good. So I went into Daddy DeVito says, sorry, I'm reading the chat. Daddy DeVito says, I'm not gonna read that. I'm not gonna read that. Okay.
As you can tell, this is a really dark episode.
No, it's not bad. It's just he said, "Is this Sal's Pizza? Can I get 2 number 9s?"
Nice.
It's not even the name of the pizza place. Anyway, so I went into work today. Speaking of pizza, I went into work today, and at my office, a couple times a month, the supervisors will get snacks for the office, and we'll have like a little snack time after lunch. It's been happening quite frequently recently because I think there's been issues with morale in the office. So today I went in and I told 2 people really. I told the guy that sits next to me and I told another guy down the hall. I said, "Hey, make sure you have a light lunch because I heard there's going to be a pizza party today after lunch." And they believed me. The one guy I told, the guy that sits next to me, I'm like, "That's actually a prank." But the other guy, he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll just get some fries and then I'll eat that pizza." So I go down to lunch and he actually believed me and like was just sitting there with like a basket of fries and I'm like, "Oh, I feel really bad. He's gonna go the whole day thinking there's pizza and he's gonna be so hungry." So I broke down and I told him it was a prank. I felt bad.
How did he respond?
He laughed about it, but he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
You probably ruined that guy's 30-minute break just to
No,
get
we get an hour.
Okay, well, still, that's pretty funny. That is pretty funny.
Okay. What was your prank though? I want to hear your prank.
No. Oh God. My prank is the classic. Today my girlfriend, I texted her and I just said to her, "Hey, I think." Let me get the exact text, but I was just like, hold on 1 second. Okay, I just said, "Yeah." God, sorry.
No, go ahead. Take your time.
Okay. I said, "Hey." She goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "Not okay, honestly." She's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Babe, I don't think we could be together." She goes, "What?" I said, "Are you okay? And what's wrong?" And I said, "Because I'm a ghost." And she goes, "Oh, April Fools." And I said, "Gotcha!" That was it.
That wasn't a very good prank.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not good at pranks. And here's the thing about pranks.
You called yourself the prank king just moments ago.
Yeah, it's called showboating. But in all honesty, what's the line between a good what makes a good prank? In all honesty, most pranks are pretty, like the ones that are acceptable, I feel are really bad and boring, and then the ones that go way too far, like the Sam Cooke shooting your friend prank. Where's the line?
I mean, I think the line is as long as there's no lasting damage, it's a good prank. But like, if the person is genuinely surprised, then that's also a good prank. Like, they have to be genuinely surprised.
Wouldn't you just come off as as a dick or something? If you're just like, for example, the pizza party story, you and I think hilarious. What if that guy's just bummed out the whole day?
Well, because it's just a harmless prank. Like, his life, he's not gonna kill himself because there's no pizza party. So Daddy DeVito says, he says, "Rizzo, text your girl and say you're pregnant." Then he says, "My parents gave birth to me, and I've been paying the price for that prank for almost 24 years."
That's
and Jake says, "Is there gonna be any roping calves this episode?" I don't know because you won't tell me what that means.
That's classic Jake.
Do you know
Classic
what
Jake.
that means? Roping calves?
Yeah, how do you not know what that is?
Okay, now that sounds like you're trying to prank me.
No, I'm not pranking you. I'm being sincere. I worked with Jake. I still work with
Okay,
Jake.
what does roping calves mean?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you don't know this, you have to ask Jake.
Okay, this feels like you guys are just trying to keep me out of the loop.
No, no. But going back to pranks.
Okay, back to pranks.
What draws the line? And what's considered a prank? Like, obviously, Chris from Prank Invasion is the standard of pranks.
Well, you have to deceive somebody. So I think Chris's idea is that these women don't think they're gonna get kissed, and then he kisses them.
But then, wasn't it confirmed that Chris was paying these models and actresses?
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why it's categorically not a prank, because
but technically
they know.
But we're getting goofed because we're thinking, oh damn, he's kissing hot girls.
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, maybe we're
we're the ones getting pranked.
Yeah, because he's like, and then he's selling us shit. You see that he sells like a school for like kissing pranks.
He's pranking us.
Yeah,
it's a meta prank.
It's a meta prank. I think that's like the pinnacle. That's why Chris from Prank Invasion is king of pranks.
Somebody get Ethan Klein on the phone. We need to let him know that we're getting meta pranked by Chris from Prank Invasion.
I know. Maybe I think we're so focused on the ridiculousness of Chris from Prank Invasion's, like, you know, just like kind of like antics, where he's just like, I'm gonna kiss someone on Mommy Makeout Day. First off, not a real holiday. I checked, because I would totally celebrate on Mommy Makeout Day. I love my mom. This is getting weird.
Well, hold on. I said no memeing. Anyhow, we were so concerned with the why. We never thought about the how. Wow.
Who else? Is there anyone else that could be in this category of meta pranks then?
I don't know any other pranksters. Does Jake Paul do pranks?
Well, no, I don't think so.
So, okay, here's a question, because I saw this going around recently. There's a new trend. It's called the Pause Challenge. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't heard of this.
So it's a quote unquote challenge where you go up to somebody and you say pause, and they have to freeze in place and stop what they're doing, and then they have to stay like that until you say play.
So ideally, someone could be a dick and just come to you and say pause, and they'll walk away, and then like you have to stay present forever, kind of thing.
Even worse than that, they come up to you, say pause, and a lot of what I've been seeing is like they'll pants you, or like you're like in the middle of like doing something that's like physically taxing, and then you're like stuck. It's a lot of like douche tubers do it.
I see. Don't you also think though that maybe there's people that are quote unquote pausing, they're also in on the prank? I don't think that's a good thing.
No, yeah, I guess maybe. Well, because the prank there is that like they don't know what's gonna happen, and then they're caught in a compromising situation. But at the same time, I think you're right in that they probably know that like the person that's gonna be pranking them like tells them before, like, hey, I'm gonna pause you while you're like taking a poopy.
Yeah, I mean isn't it the thing of like whoever starts something, whoever's the creator of something originally, they kind of have to be in on it, because no one just goes up to you randomly and says pause, and then you're automatically like, oh yeah, that thing, you know. So it's obviously like a couple or duo of guys that just did it for fun, YouTubed it, and people kind of took over, and they said, hey, ridiculous reviews, and I'm gonna touch you, or I'm gonna pants you, or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really strange, but I mean, are challenges like that even pranks though? I can't even tell anymore.
Honestly, I think it's everything. That's the thing about YouTube too, like, and just in content in general, everything's so pre-planned. I feel like nothing's ever genuine anymore. You know what I mean? There's no like real viral. Like I think Lawrence was talking about a little bit in Funhouse. I was like, nothing is actually genuine or viral anymore. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Remember like the golden days of like the internet, where like it's like, oh, did you see that viral video that went like from like that small news station in Missouri? It's all over the world now, or it's all over the internet now.
I was just thinking about a video today from probably like 2009-ish. It was the Star Wars rap, where it's like, use the Force, Luke. Go to Dagobah. Dagobah. That one. You remember that? Another Tom Smith says, I remember.
What about remember the McDonald's rap? That random dude
Yeah,
had two went to
was
the
that
McDonald's.
wasn't that Wait, the one where it's like, I need a double cheeseburger and hold the
Yeah,
lettuce. Okay.
yeah,
I thought you were talking about the McNuggets rap, because that was Kyle Mooney, right? And then he got drafted to SNL.
yeah. No, I mean that's planned. That's like sketch. He was doing.
Yeah.
I guess so. You can consider
But
that part.
I know what you're talking about. That's definitely the McDonald's rap there, like the drive-through one. That was pretty good. Like that had
So
thought and like it was creative.
yeah, and I think it was that was kind of like the wild west of just the internet where people just did whatever. Like, and that's what I remember as a kid. Like just like the spontaneity of just whatever you wanted to do, you could do. And I mean, I wish I was more brave when I was younger to film stuff. But of course, though, there's middle school counselors saying don't post stuff on the internet or you might get touched. Or
Yeah.
I keep on saying touched today. Yeah, I mean like what I mean.
So
It's
I
okay.
guess that video is technically a prank because like
Which one?
they're the McDonald's rap because they're like pranking
Yeah,
the what do you call them, the cashier.
yeah, and they were generally shocked. Now, like, nowadays, you see people do that shit all the time. Like they go drive through and they ask for something
Yeah.
ridiculous, and everyone's like, "Ah, good one."
You know what I thought was funny for like a second, and then I was like, no, that's kind of annoying. When people were coning, do you know what that was? They would go to
Oh, I
like
mean, grab
McDonald's. Yeah, they would
yeah.
ask for an ice cream cone and then grab it by the ice cream.
Would that be a prank? You think? Would you consider that a
Oh,
prank?
that's for sure a prank.
Mhm.
I just think it's kind of annoying.
I would say most of I wouldn't call it meme, maybe meme history, but most meme history was kind of a prank if you think about it. I mean, like planking was just being an obstruction in people's way while you lay face down for the
Yeah.
most part. I'm trying to think of other old school memes that I know you have a no meme policy,
No,
but
listen. We can meme, but like you gotta be serious. But we take memes very seriously here on Monday Night Tonight.
oh, for sure. I know that's. I just want to make sure that it's legal. I mean, I'm doing a
Yeah. Oh, it's
40.
very legal. We might actually jump into that segment soon.
Cool. If you want to just let me know when you're ready to transition.
We're gonna transition to a segment that I came up with about 30 minutes ago. I wish I had an audio cue to go with it, but I don't.
Do you want me to put it up right now for you?
But it's no, it's fine. We're gonna play a game called Prank or Felony.
Okay, I'm into this.
So I'm gonna read like I guess a headline essentially, and then you have to guess whether or not what I'm reading to you is a prank or if it was a convicted crime.
Okay, this is gonna be so borderline. It's gonna always. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So I don't know. Some of these are like really obviously pranks. So let me. Uh. Okay. So we'll start with this one because this one I guess could go either way. Oh wait, I didn't even realize this. We'll start with that one. Okay. Okay. Man signs woman up for mailing list.
Oh,
Is that a
okay.
felony or is that a prank?
I think it's prank. Didn't he? I think I remember this one. Didn't he just like sign up to a bunch of like discount shops or something like that, or just like very weird products? Like I forget. I think it's prank.
Prank? That was a prank. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Smith says, "I feel like there's a gray area between the two. There's
I mean, that's why this segment
there's a
exists.
gray area right up until the letter of the law." All
I have
right.
a great story. I don't know if you have it in your segments. Say it yet, but I think I remember one. But we'll continue.
Okay. 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 What the heck is this one? Okay. Local kids collect neighbors' garbage as a prank. Is that a prank or was that a crime for
It was
them
a
to do
crime.
that?
It's a crime.
That is not a crime.
It was a prank.
Yeah.
I thought my thought was kid was like picking up the trash for the neighbor, but like he was actually just like stealing, or like the neighbor took it as like taking property.
No, this one is it says a user on Quora is the source of this truly genius prank, which involves telling a lot of people that your friend is collecting trash for a project. Then, of course, their life is suddenly filled with unwanted garbage.
That's good.
Okay. Okay. All right, this one's good. Men pretend to feed baby alligator beer and Snapchat it.
That's definitely illegal. It was an illegal thing.
Yeah, that is a crime. Yeah, it says the cops are on social media. Don't put your crimes on social media.
The ultimate prank in itself when the cops tell you, hey, it's illegal.
Let's see one of these. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Alright, this one's just funny. Okay, man changes friends' contacts in their phone to Dennis Quaid.
That's prank.
Yeah. That one's just funny. That one's obviously a prank, but that's pretty funny.
That's a good one. Can you imagine? It's like, oh shit, Dennis Quaid's calling me. 1 second.
Oh, that's another. I'm just seeing like good pranks. Okay, let's see another one here. Okay, I don't even know how to. What the heck? Okay, I'm not gonna read that one. That one's weird. Okay, okay. Woman smokes laughing gas.
Smokes. I mean, it's probably very illegal, but wouldn't she just blow up if she tries to smoke it?
This one, well, she inhales laughing gas.
Oh, you smoked it.
All right,
so
well,
like
same thing. Woman inhales laughing gas.
Smoking involves like a lighter and like whatever. Okay.
Prank or crime?
Prank.
That one is a crime.
Oh, really? No.
It says woman inhales laughing gas in front of police, gets arrested.
Nice.
Oh, because it's Whippets.
Oh, she's in Whippets. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's laughing gas.
I mean, it's nitrous oxide, so it's like similar components.
Okay.
Not saying that.
Woman sends fake emails saying they've been selected for guys' grocery games on Food Network.
Oh, I think that's very illegal. I think that's crime.
That is not a crime. That's just a prank.
Really?
That's just a really specific prank.
No, I was saying, wouldn't it be like solicit? Oh, wow. Okay. I know what I'm doing next year.
Yeah. All right. Let's do one more. Okay. Okay. Man replaces family photos with pictures of Steve Buscemi.
That's just funny. It's a prank.
Yeah, that's just a prank.
It's a
no
prank,
crime there.
Do you remember transitioning? But do you remember when HC talked about the group of guys as a prank? They started to rob a art gallery or fake rob an art gallery with 3D printed guns and the whole shebang. Evacuate the whole place, and they're running out with their guns. It's just a prank, bro. It's
what?
Yeah, they were they ran in hey, well, get the fuck down, and they were just sprinting. People were just in hysteria, and they were just no, it's just a prank. As they're holding the Mona Lisa.
You can't do that.
Yeah, no, and they got arrested for sure. I think it was in Australia. Look it up. I think it was in Australia.
I don't know.
I'm joking. Stop!
Prank.
Stop! That's a prank! Stop!
Art gallery. What?
I'm sorry, you're not listening to the stream. I played a sound bit. It was just a guy yelling, "It's just a prank."
It's a prank. No, yeah, it's called the Troll Station video. Maker's jail for fake robbery and kidnapping.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. I guess trolling in a way is a prank.
But it gets a little iffy with trolling, doesn't it? Doesn't you get into harassment? And then you get into
a little bit.
I mean, it must be.
So I'm gonna transition out of prank or felony. Thanks for playing. Appreciate you.
Well, how did I do though? That's my question.
You did pretty good.
I think I got 2 wrong.
Yeah, you only got like 2 wrong. That's not bad.
That's okay.
It's more than anybody else who's played the game because you're the only person who's played the game.
Well, there you go.
So congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Oh, shit, I got popcorn on the floor here. All right. You said you were gonna say something. I told you to save it.
Which one about the
I don't know.
about the art gallery? Or the
Maybe
troll?
that was it.
Well, because we're talking about we're talking about the art gallery story. How like these guys go in, rob or pretend to like rob the art gallery and like threaten to kill people with like 3D printed guns, and then like they ran out like screaming at the people, "No, it's just a prank!" And then you said that might be like trolling, and that could be a form of pranking, which I agree. But that one I think has a more, I guess, like I wouldn't say criminal intent, but it's more
It's obviously a crime.
Yeah, like I mean, like harmful trolling back in the day was just like, just but even then, like, not even harmful. It wasn't even harmful. It was kind of like harassment, like a slight form of harassment. What do you think?
It was cyberbullying.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I listen. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind like a little bit troll. I got trolled times in my youth, but yeah, I mean, I could see where people could take it so far out of control. I mean, I used to respond I used to be like, "My mom's in the Marines. She'll kick your ass."
Daddy DeVito said, I bet a lot of these felonies will be from Florida. That's probably correct.
Well, I think Florida's just criminal melting pot. Like it's,
Yeah, right.
You see the new one recently? It was like lady smokes or shoots gator, or a person thinking it was a gator or something. It's
What?
crazy. Yeah, no, like it's like how do you confuse the two?
I don't know. Well, listen, if it's Killer Croc and an alligator, I would easily confuse the two, especially if it's Killer Croc from Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad too. Oh, you already talked
No, it's the Suicide Squad.
as they're calling it now.
Yeah, because it's a complete reboot. Didn't you listen to the last episode?
I did. I was recapping.
Okay.
Let's try to help you out, production line.
All right.
But
I
yeah,
thought we
sorry.
had more to talk about in terms of pranks, but I guess that's kind of the well, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm not, as you can tell, I'm obviously not the prank master.
Even though you said you were the prank king at the beginning, top of the show.
Listen, Colin, I have self-crippling depression. No.
Wait, what?
That's a bad
You
prank.
have self-crippling depression?
I didn't even say depression.
Why do you keep adding self onto it?
Self, like when you hate yourself, but not really. Or you're trying to hype yourself up. I don't know.
If you have it, then clearly it's yourself.
Hey, Colin, I pranked you.
What? What?
I wanted to talk about something like young bucks in a corporate lifestyle. I was
Alright,
ready
we
for
can do that. We can do that. We got time. We still have 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
an
mean,
hour-long show. Didn't you watch the last episode?
yeah, no, but do you have other segments, or was that
No,
it?
that was pretty much all I had lined up.
Oh my god, this is the biggest prank to our viewers, or like our viewers.
We have 4 viewers.
Oh my god, I'm not even watching it, so it's
Yeah,
probably 2:
thanks.
Tom, Jake, and Mike.
No, I think it's Tom, Jake, and Alex.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else. Or it's the
Well,
pranks.
Well, no. So you wanted to talk about because we both now work in an office. We have office jobs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Jake Gibbons said, "If having depression is cool, consider me Miles Davis." Didn't you
God bless
just
Jake.
quote that the other day?
No, Vicky did quoted it the other day.
Right. What's that quote from?
It's from Billy Madison.
Oh, okay. That's why
yeah,
I
it's good.
forgot it because I don't care for Billy Madison.
Oh, really? No. Did you ever watch Adam Sandler when you were younger?
I did. I just didn't like it. My cousins liked Billy Madison a lot.
That was the movie I watched in my car going from Jersey to Philly, Jersey.
I see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're office boys now. We work in offices like big boys.
I think full disclosure, we should not say the company names that we work.
I mean,
just in case.
yeah, I guess maybe I don't. I'd like my job. I don't want to lose it.
I do too. To be fair, it's only been my first week, and they've been great to me, and they seem like a great company to work for. But I think adjusting was the big thing I wanted to talk about. I think for me at least, because this is my first real corporate job, um, and to be quite frank, it's a very different environment. And you know, we're kind of talking about this the other day. Um, but basically, I feel like personally, maybe because I'm so used to smaller businesses or smaller agencies and stuff, that it's more personal. I felt like, and you didn't really have the looming policies or HR police on your back all the time. And even now, like when I'm talking to people, like I feel like we could get closer and be really cool, like, closer to like a camaraderie sense. But there's always that like I don't want to say the wrong thing. That's my only gripe so far. That's me
So,
adjusting.
so your problem is that you're worried you're gonna say something stupid.
I mean, always. That's just general. That's 24/7. But it's not even that. It's just a matter of. I mean, you know me. Like sometimes I just have no filter, which is saying something stupid. But yes, it counts as that. But it's also a matter of like just speaking my mind, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, and I know that's not like in a professional setting, you always want to kind of have a sort of a filter, but at the same time, you don't want to be disingenuous.
Sure.
I because I feel like also if you're kind of this this is me personally in a corporate setting, if you're just kind of like one-sided, or if you're just like kind of one thought, then you don't really stick out. And how can you show your use, really? I guess by your work, but
Hmm.
I always thought there was a little bit more to that, or it could be more.
That kind of, I guess it relates a little bit to something that happened today when I was at lunch.
Oh,
Um, I was talking with some people. I forget how we got on it. Somebody mentioned the Wachowskis.
hmm,
And I was talking about how just like a year ago I found out that the Wachowskis are trans. I
hmm.
didn't know that.
They're both trans now, right?
Yes. Uh, sorry, I was reading the chat and Jake said something insignificant. But
Of course.
yeah, so they're both trans. I was like reading into it. And then just the other day, our friend John in the group chat said, he's like, "Did you guys know the Wachowskis are both trans?" I was like, "Yeah, I just found out like a year ago." So I was talking to people at lunch about it, and like they were saying that they don't quite understand it and they're confused because like they're saying so they were men but now they're women, and I was like, that's not technically, from what I understand, that's not technically the way that trans people typically prefer to phrase it. The proper phrasing typically is that they were always women. They just were born in the incorrect body. So I was kind
Oh,
of explaining that to my coworkers. I'm like, this is just training that I've had on how to kind of um, talk about trans people and their experiences. I mean, I'm obviously not an expert, and I told them like I'm an idiot sometimes and I don't say the proper thing, but I like to at least try and say the proper thing. But I like told them that most trans people that I've met, if you slip up and say the wrong thing, like if you misgender them by mistake, it doesn't usually end in an outburst because most sane people aren't gonna like freak out at you because you said the wrong thing. You made a
like the
mistake.
GameStop lady, or the GameStop lady who just like
Yeah,
lost her.
like that's a very unique case. I don't think that's the case for all trans people.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So it's I think your concern for being politically correct is, I guess, something to, I don't want to say admire because I wouldn't admire anything about you.
No, but the thing is, my
But
argument
it's
isn't.
it's it's you don't have to worry so much because I don't think everybody is gonna freak out if you say the wrong thing.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm slowly getting. Again, it's only been my first week into that, and most people that I've been getting closer with are kind of showing their like who they really are. There's less of that awkwardness of like, oh,
Hmm.
like I'm professional, the young professional that are like obviously like we're just doing a basic job right now, like or we're just in my case we're just in training.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I guess my question for you, I was trying to ask you about this the other day, but I mean, you've in your other previous job, it was technically a corporate job, but it kind of had that weird flow of like, I mean, like you would train in corporate, but then you would go to like this, I wouldn't say retail, but like kind of like this like smaller scale vibe. Did that change? Like, did you feel that change when you went to your new job? or was
Um,
it?
so are you saying a change between jobs or a change between training and being
So,
actually at
so
work?
I guess since what I'm trying to say is your last job compared to this job, job number one versus two. If you put
I
it.
think it's probably not the best example just because my office now is pretty relaxed. I mean, nobody's like we're not running down the halls like throwing paper at each other and just cussing,
Mhm.
but it's pretty relaxed and everybody like tries to make each other feel comfortable. Like we go in wearing jeans and t-shirts most days. Some
Yeah.
people wear shirts and ties, but it's really just kind of like everybody's trying to make each other feel comfortable because they want to be comfortable at work too.
Hmm.
So I guess the difference is that I'm pretty relaxed at my job now because other people are relaxed and want me to be relaxed. Whereas at my previous job, I was relaxed because I didn't care about it.
So,
So it's a different kind of relax. Like at my other job, I got into arguments with the one guy, all the time, and I would just kind of tell him like, "Hey, this is how I feel. This is why I feel it." And like I didn't filter that at all in that moment. Usually I would just ignore him and not talk to him until, he gave me a reason to speak up. But
right.
like now I'm just kind of straightforward with people. Like we were I guess I joke around a little bit. No, about the same. We were talking today, and this one girl on my team, she was like, "How much would it take for you to kill somebody?" And
Jesus.
I was like, "I don't know, like $10." She's like, $10? I was like, "Yeah, $10 is $10."
Well,
And
that's
she's
that.
like, "I think we need to talk about how Colin's gonna kill somebody for $10."
I mean, you have a good rapport with people now
Yeah.
at this point. So you've been there for quite a while now. But
Well, it's been like a month and a half ish.
no.
Yeah.
Another thing I find interesting, kind of in this new setting, is I mean, I don't know how you did it with your first couple days of like training at your at job number two, but like the freaking amount of just like the most basic corporate policy stuff that like yeah sure they add their own like unique motto or vision or dream or whatever to it, but it just I kind of want like me as a human being I'm kind of want to just get in the meat of things. I just want to start
Hmm.
shadowing, but a lot of it's overshadowed by policy and procedure and like I don't know stuff like that. That's I think that kind of bothers me because I just want to like like the other weekend. Then I go to my dad's restaurant where I help him work on the weekends, and then I'm just like super active and I'm touching like not
Hmm.
people but like like I'm like doing the food. I'm like doing the
Yeah, you got your
register.
hands in the pot.
Exactly, and like yeah, it just feels like I'm contributing it. I don't know, it's easy work, but it's just it feels like I'm actually doing something. If I'm just sitting in a classroom for 8 hours, like hearing about like the procedure of this company, it's like okay, great, wonderful. Can we do it now? Can we put it into action?
I don't know, cause like for me, when I was in training, I was like, yeah, I'm bored, but at the same time, I was getting paid to basically just sit around.
That's fair.
Like,
That's very
yeah,
fair.
I was kind of, I wanted to go and do work, I suppose, but like, I wasn't like chomping at the bit to just sit down and input some data. Like, I could, I could go either way, cause like I like my job, but it's not like my passion. So like, if I'm just sitting around getting paid to just sit around, I'm not gonna complain.
That's fair, but I mean, like at the same, I guess just I'm just trying to play devil's advocate at this point. I have currently also. You had how many weeks of training? What you said, like
I
three, four,
had 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I have 19. This is only week two of 19. So I know, like, and like, hopefully they tell me they're gonna like advance like the difficulty of the training, like because there's a lot of systems to learn, and
Hmm.
especially in the that I'm in right now, it's a lot of systems. But on the other hand, it just feels so slow. And I know, like, yes, it's true. It's 19 weeks of paid. They're again, and they are a great company. I'm just an active person, and I just like to
Hmm.
just go and do. And if I'm going to be sitting, I'll just be sitting here. I'd be making, my own. No, I would never take your idea for a pocket, but like like I would be doing something. You know what I
Don't
mean?
you
Like
dare.
the Tuesday night tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
No. No.
oh, that's fine. No, but it also, you know what I mean? Like if I was be sitting at home. But
Are you sure it's 19 weeks and not 19 days?
no, so no, it's 19 weeks. Trust me, because the first 16, it's mostly so. I could say this: I'm going to be, or what they're training me for is to become a kind of a CSR, which is a customer service representative in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But in the industry, you have to learn. You know what it is, but it's just a lot of it's a lot of knowing the industry first because you need to understand the industry. You need to understand the language. It's like week or like month 2 or 3 is like fully in depth. Or actually, we're kind of doing that now. Then it becomes systems because there's a shit ton of systems with a shit ton of security clearances and overrides. And then finally, you move on to the customer service aspect, which I think I'll have a handle. And then the last 3 weeks, so that's 16 weeks, and then the last 3 weeks become shadowing and kind of like on-ground training, where you have like 3 weeks of doing it all by yourself, and quality assurance people are going to be like on our calls, checking up every call, giving us constant feedback. And if there isn't any like negative repercussions, it doesn't really affect us fully until after this 3 weeks, and then we're basically full employed CSRs. You know?
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a lot of. For some, I could see there's a lot. And today, here's the worst part. Today we had a meeting about like the metric system that measures our performance. And while I'm like, we're actors, so we were actors, and you get that kind of like judgmental feel all the time from directors, people afterwards and whatnot. So you're not really like you don't really you would, especially if you were in the situation, you'd be like, oh, whatever, I'll just do my job and do the best I can, as I am. But I could tell there's a little bit of a looming chill in the air because a lot of people like, shit, I'm gonna be judged, and here are the numbers that are gonna judge me. Yeah, it's terrifying when someone's like, okay, yeah, anyone could give you an opinion, but these are the friggin' numbers they're gonna hold you accountable for.
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
That was the thing. Like when I was at, I'm not afraid to say it. When I was at Blinds to Go, I hated whenever they like put numbers at me because it was always numbers about sales, and it's like I don't control those numbers. I don't control how much people spend.
Yeah.
Like I don't set the prices. I don't change the prices or anything. That's not my job.
For sure. And not to slander you or slander it, but like also it seems like I wish we didn't say the name, but it kind of seemed like that company also didn't understand that sometimes your reviews were way better. Like the people that came in to work with it, even though they may have not bought something, they highly recommended you as a representative.
Yeah, in like the 9-10 months I was there, I think I got like 3 or 4 like 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Compared to like the other, and that was like where they mentioned me specifically by name.
And as corporate, I would have been like, okay, yes, this person's not maybe, but in that situation too, that company probably isn't. And no offense to the company, it's probably not selling as much as they used to. So that's probably their vision right now is just to push product. They really don't give a shit how you do it.
Yeah.
Where in my industry, in my profession, I have to be that full-on serviceable and kind of accommodable person, and which I'm not ashamed of. I know I can be. I hope. I mean, like you tell me that too once in a while that I can be. So it's really not that hard for me. But
yeah, you just have to learn to slow down.
Yeah, exactly. It's a relief for me for that aspect. I know for some it's a little bit more challenging at that field, but for you especially, yeah, I'm so glad you left because your first job because they just seem to be about the numbers, and it was kind of stressful the way you would tell me. I don't know. I believe
very stressful.
Yeah, I mean that's most sales jobs though too, where they just push the product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and didn't you you had a lot of opportunity? Not opportunity, but you had a lot of times where people will come in and they're like, I'm thinking about it, and then you give them all the information, and maybe not now, but I'll come back, and they did come back eventually.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like there was in my first week. Yes, Tom, I did say the job which must not be named. The first week or so, maybe it was the second week. My boss as a teaching exercise, whenever somebody said they would be back another time, she had me put the worksheet that I put together for them into a folder. It was called my Be Back folder. And then at the end of the week, I had to call all of those people to see when they would be back. And like
Really?
it was basically a way to it basically was set up as a way to like punish me. It's like, okay, you had 10 people that were in that folder. Now you got to call 10 people
You know what that
because
kind
you
of
didn't
sounds
make the
like?
sale.
You know what it kind of sounds like? It kind of sounds like when you get those spam calls about like from like the
Yeah.
IRS. It kind of like, I mean, it's like hey, like like it just that's the thing. Like why spam yourself in that account? Like why I don't know. I can't even describe it. I can't
Dude,
describe cold
I
calls.
hated doing cold calls so much. It was my least favorite part of any job I've had. I had to do it at Michael's a little bit too.
Well, yeah, I mean, Michael's was a little bit different. That was the other job, the third job that we shall not naming.
Well, that came before Blinds Ago, but
But it wasn't as bad calling at Michael's, right? Because like for the
Mm.
most part, you knew who you were calling and why they were.
well, at Blinds Ago, I knew who I was calling too. But like at Michael's, 9 times out of 10, if somebody like came up to the framing counter and like I quoted them on a price, the price was way too much for them, so they would just leave.
Hmm.
Like they would never say, "I'll be back later."
They were like, no,
So it's like
fine.
it's just me being an asshole. Like, hey, have you changed your mind?
Yeah, that's a little. But then again, Michael's also a company. They're a public share company, aren't they? Michael's.
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I know that they sent me a expired check that they're it was like expired by I think 9 months.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So now I have to I've been talking to HR trying to get a new check sent to me and I got to see if they'll reimburse me cuz my bank bounced the check and charged me a fee.
Yeah, that sucks. I got that too, where I sent someone a check. It was actually when we made those D&D shirts. I sent them out. I thought it was all cash and everything, and then months later it bounced. I was like, how? And they're like, oh, we just cashed it like yesterday. I'm like, why
Well,
did you
that's
just
all
cash it
them.
yesterday? Yeah, I was like, I had the money the day I sent you the check. That's when you should have cashed it.
Yeah.
Whatever. That is all taken care of now. Yeah. I mean, again, in regards to just this corporate stuff, I mean, I was so glad to have your perspective because you were kind of a veteran about it. Oh, yeah, but yet not so like shrouded by the I guess the corporate lifestyle
The
fully.
veneer.
Yeah. But it's definitely gonna take me. I definitely feel like Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sometimes. I come home or like I go to work and I'm like this like very serious or like very like hello, how are you? Oh, cool, ha ha ha. Make a slight quip about the weather, and I'll come home and I'm just like goofball Mike Rizzo.
Yeah,
So,
no. Oh, you just said your last name, idiot.
oh, Diddy my chubby. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, I go in and I'm calling and I come home and I'm calling. I just masturbate at home and I don't at work.
I messed me that work.
No, ew.
I'm just kidding. But no, I think I'll get used to it. I think I'm just nervous. It's the double life.
If anybody, let's do this because I have this set up, but I've never used it. If anybody wants to call in, we do have
Ooh.
call-in lines in the Discord.
Ooh.
It is possible for you to call into the show.
Ooh.
So if you see the description there should be a link. Also, there's the link that's on my desk in the video. If you want to head on over to the Discord, we'll take some. I see. Okay, there he is.
We got one already.
Yeah, I knew who was gonna jump in.
It's actually funny. I do want to talk about this weekend. I did, so it's good that he's doing it.
Yeah. Go to. Okay, do we have him?
Tommy boy.
Hey.
There he is. Okay, so Tom Smith, everybody, he's back for episode 3. Two
How you
episodes in
doing?
a row.
Well, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, Tom?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, how you doing? It's a good show so far. I gotta say, good show.
Thank you. We're having fun. Let me preface what we're gonna talk about because I guess
Okay.
we'll talk about the weekend. We
Yeah, sure.
recently, just this past weekend, I think we talked about it last episode, but Tom.
Well, we mentioned it briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom made a video of a film, if you will, a short film. That sorry, that me and Mr. Michael Rizzo were both in. You could say I was the star or
I
a
was-
star.
I was definitely the
Great Stark. Yeah.
And he submitted it to some film festivals that got it got picked up at a few. We went to a film festival this past weekend where it was
That's
featured.
right.
And we had a lot of fun. There were some mishaps.
Yeah, we did.
But otherwise it was pretty fun. So Tom, I'm curious, what was your favorite part of the whole weekend?
Oh, geez. I think just kind of having everybody come down. For those of you listening, it was at Asbury Park, New Jersey, which is very close to where I live. Having like everybody that I worked on this with come back and kind of have like basically an all weekend party to celebrate just us doing this and like just having people see what we did. That was a lot of fun to me. And then when we actually sat down for the screening and a lot of people were laughing along with it. And yeah, it just kind of I was very excited about it. It was heartwarming, you could say.
Yeah, no, it was I did enjoy that too. I didn't think I just forgot everything about the movie, honestly. Like I think I was telling your dad, but like I completely forgot everything that I said in that film. So it was like I was sitting next to our friends Nick and Allie, and like I was laughing at myself because I was like, I said that? Those were things that were in the script that I read.
Well, not all of them were in the script.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, the bit of the glass elephant.
Um,
No, but I agree with Colin where and I did watch it a couple times. And I showed some close family friends the link you sent me a while ago, Tom. But
right.
Oh, I need you to send that to me because I wanted to show it to some people.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I can plug it now because I just made it live online.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's The Adventures of Murdoch and Sons. You can find it on Vimeo, vimeo.com.
Oh, I guess you could just search it there.
Yeah.
So that's for you, Alex and Jake.
Yeah.
But I was going back to the topic at hand. I was really sitting in that. It was kind of like surreal. It was like really weird. Like I know it was a small little venue and stuff, but it was really cool. And also like to hear others' reactions that know nothing about us.
Yeah.
Nothing about the film really, except for the brief description, which is very, very brief. But it was cool. It was really, really, and to see it all, and like kind of like it was like, in my opinion, one of the better ones up there in our block at least. So.
Oh well, thank you. Yeah. It's kind of funny you guys say about like the not watching it a lot and kind of being surprised by it because like I've probably seen it now about like 300 times, just like editing it and like just changing little things here and there, just to, like get it fine tuned for the final product. And I've sort of like got so used to it that I just like wasn't laughing at it anymore because it's like, oh, this is just the movie I made. I'm not thinking about what the lines are or what's funny or what I enjoyed about it. And then just kind of like seeing new people, a room full of new people watching it.
Yeah.
It kind of brought all that back for me.
Nice.
That's
I'm glad you
good.
got that excitement back. You know.
Yeah.
I have to say too, Asbury Park was a pretty cool town.
Yeah, it's very nice there.
Until you got scared at night when we were trying to walk back to
Tom, we walked like 10 blocks way too far from Main Street.
We walked
that was a
2
mistake.
blocks too far.
No, it was pretty bad. Yeah, we started hearing like.
It was not
this-
bad.
Okay, whatever. Colin, it was pretty bad.
It's got its areas.
It was no worse than Philadelphia.
No,
That's very true.
I mean, yeah, but it's also with Philadelphia. At least I know, like, okay, I know that area. I know where to go, how to navigate. I know it. It's a new place for me. You know what I mean? It's a new place for most of us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds a little racist if you ask me.
I mean, there was a just kidding. No,
I did there
Right, sure.
was so in the block that our film was in, there was that you guys will remember this, the very last one. It was
Yes.
really, really well made. I was impressed because the producer and it was only one actor who
Yes.
were there to talk about it, and they said that they had built a set for the actual
Yeah.
film. I was
that was
super
crazy.
impressed because it was basically like a typical, I guess you could say like a typical like play
Victorian.
kind of
It looked like a
room.
mansion.
Yeah, like a
One
mansion
room in a
room.
mansion.
I thought I was gonna talk to them about like the production process in regards to at least building the set, but I was just really kind of it kind of happened really quickly, so I didn't have a chance to react to it. But
Yeah.
that producer tapped me on the back as we were like standing up to go to the Q&A, and he goes, "Hey, you did a really good job, man." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Oh, that was
Like,
so nice.
I didn't even know who it was. I just like felt a hand on my shoulder, and I like tried to turn around. But like thinking about it, I was like, "Holy shit, that guy like he's like a real deal dude."
Yeah.
He said he liked what I did.
That's awesome. Like it was cool, kind of getting little compliments like that from like people whose movie you also saw,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh yeah, I liked. I mean, I liked what you did too. I thought yours was better almost.
Yeah, right.
And yeah.
Now, Tom,
So-
did you get like any other like? I mean, you kept on going the rest of the day watching
Mhm.
the movie and whatnot, but did you run into anyone else that like kind of saw the movie, or anyone that talked to you about your movie, or Morgan?
No one that saw the movie, but it is funny you mentioned there was like Morgan and I went to that big hotel right next to like the theater that was at the end of the boardwalk.
Yeah.
We were there like about 45 minutes before the screening started, so we went to the filmmakers lounge in that building, which was just like the bar around the corner. And people were just hanging out there getting drinks, and this one guy just kind of sits down next to me and Morgan at the bar, asks like, "Oh, you guys filmmakers?" And we're like, "Yeah, I made a movie. It screened today." He asked me all about it. It turned out he was like this like big producer guy, like just this really established guy. He was like just
Wow.
telling stories about how he sold his first company to Disney and like he did all this stuff. But the entire time he's talking to me, I think he's under the impression that I directed like a feature film because
Wow.
because he like asked stuff like, "Oh, do you have like distribution? Do you have like a social media plan?" I'm like, not exactly." uh,
He was probably
so yeah,
trying to buy your. He was probably trying to invest, dude.
well, yeah, I know. I mean, I still like talk myself up, but I
but
gave
you
him my
like-
card and everything.
Oh,
Told
that's
him where to
cool.
find told him where to find the movie, and he seems like excited to watch it. I don't think I'll ever hear from him again, but just the fact that I got to have an interaction like that about a movie I made, it was pretty surreal.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you pitch it like that you wanted to make it a web series originally, or no? Because you were saying
I talked about that. Yeah, like I mentioned that. Because he did. Like when we were talking about like distribution stuff, I mentioned that.
that's awesome, Tom.
That was the first iteration of what I wanted to do with it.
That's awesome. I think you gave a great answer during the Q&A too about when the host asked. I mean, the first question was obviously why make the movie or whatever, but when they asked what was your like why, like what was
Inspo.
the theme behind it?
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of like in the moment just like spoke from the heart up there and like
Yeah, it fucking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I fucking should. Can we curse on this call? I didn't even
I
realize.
don't care.
I did a couple times last week.
It's Monday night tonight.
It is Monday night.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
All right, we are coming up on the hour. So I guess we'll do some like last minute talking points.
Sure.
Do you guys got anything going on? Do we want to tease? Let's do a quick April Fool's Day prank. We'll tease something that doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
How about Tom goes first since he's
Yeah, go ahead. Tease a little something for us, Tom.
Well, what do you mean? Like what's an example of like a?
All right,
Okay.
I'll get you. So, guys, make sure you tune in next month on the 5th of May. I'm going to be doing a special Cinco de Mayo traditional dance. It'll be a stream.
Oh.
I'll be doing a traditional dance, so stay tuned for that Cinco de Mayo dance.
Did you get George
Wow.
Lucas in that show?
I'll be waiting for that.
Yep.
And I'll be really disappointed if it doesn't happen.
Okay.
Obviously, my SoundCloud career is just skyrocketing right now.
Mhm.
So catch my new album I'm gonna do with Froyo this month, I think. But check it. It's called Sprinkleness on yeah.
Okay. And Tom, what about yourself?
Well, actually, I'm working on a new project. It's actually you might call it a underground community.
Okay.
It's actually of mole people. I found a bunch of them, and I said, "Hey, you guys seem cool. Let's start a whole like thing together." And they're like, "Yeah, you know, we're all networking here." So that's the community that I'm going to be starting. So
you sold the movie
keep an
to
eye out for
the mole
that.
people? You sold the movie to the mole people?
Yeah.
Nice, man.
And the prank is one of those was not a joke. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And I say this at the end of every episode now. If you know any musicians, or if you are a musician and you have some music you'd like to be heard, and you don't mind me using it for free, I'd love to have some music to play on this show. So
That's a weird end to segment. That's to end a podcast.
why is it a weird way to end a podcast?
I thought that was like your sign off. I thought it was like
Yeah, no, I mean that's basically the sign off. But
Thank you for watching. I'm desperate for music.
yeah, I just want some. I like music, and I might reach out to
Good call to action.
Deuce.
That's it.
If you guys remember Deuce. I think I reached out to him once for The Clog and used one of his band songs. But if you guys aren't familiar with the band Hedera from New Jersey, I think they're Hedera Sojo on most social media because there's a Hedera metal band. They're a very good band. It's Hedra. My friend Victor is in that band, and they're very good. They're on Spotify. They're on YouTube. They just released a music video recently for one of their songs I like. But look them up. I might get their music on here. We'll see. I'm not promising anything because I haven't asked yet.
Yeah, you should totally ask Victor to come on. Love to.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Maybe I'll have him come on next week. We'll talk about music and video games.
That'd be cool.
I'll shoot him a message. Anyway, Victor, if you're listening, you aren't, but if you're listening, we're gonna get you on next episode.
There'll be a recording up, so he might find it eventually.
Yeah, I'll shoot him the link to the recording. All right. Yeah. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna mute you guys real quick.
All right.